Hello everyone. Have you ever wondered how one event can change the entire world? In 1914, the seemingly peaceful world was suddenly struck by a tragedy that shocked civilization. Behind a seemingly simple murder, a global conflict lurked that will shake the world older. This is World War I. World War I, one of the large wars in the 20th century, was caused by several factors that can be grouped into general causes and specific causes. General causes include military, economic, and political competition in Europe. The rapidly developing Industrial Revolution triggered the need for raw materials, encouraging countries such as England, France, and Germany to carry out imperialism in Africa, Asia, and United States. Competition for control of these colonies increased tension between the major countries, especially between Germany and England, France and Russia, which eventually culminated in the July Crisis, the main cause of World War I. In addition, the emergence of military alliances in Europe further exacerbated tension. In 1818, the major countries in Europe in the 19th century were involved in a struggle for power and resources, both within Europe and outside Europe. These alliances further divide Europe into two opposing blocs, setting the world up for major conflict. In 1892, Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Italy formed the Triple Alliance to maintain political stability and strengthen their position as great power. Meanwhile, Britain, France, and Russia formed the Triple Entente in response to the Triple Alliance. These tensions were further exacerbated by armed races between the great powers and territorial disputes, such as in 1908 and 1909, when Austria-Hungary took control of Bosnia-Herzegovina and joined Russia and Serbia. In addition to political and military factors, the influence of Darwinism, especially social Darwinism, also contributed to Germany's expansionist policies. This theory thought that the fittest would survive and that weaker races should be eliminated to make room for the stronger. The idea of the Bandsturm, or living space, encouraged Germany to expand its territory and justify war as a part of natural selection. This thinking further inflamed existing tension and provided moral justification for Germanic expansion. On the other hand, the specific cause that triggered the outbreak of World War I was the tragic assassination of the crowned Prince of Austria-Hungary, Franz Ferdinand, and his wife on June 28, 1914 in Sarajevo. This assassination was carried out by Gavrilo Princip, a member of the Serbian nationalist group who wanted to liberate the Balkan region from the rule of Austria-Hungary. Franz Ferdinand was the heir to the throne of Austria-Hungary and Bohemia. Franz Ferdinand was the heir of the throne. This assassination became a symbol of resistance against Austria-Hungary's domination in the Balkans, and it triggered a war between the major countries in Europe, eventually causing World War I to break out. World War I began on June 28, 1914, when Gavrilo Princip, a Serbian nationalist, assassinated Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary in Sarajevo. The conflict was divided into two major alliances. Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia, which then prompted Russia, France, and Britain to get involved, while Germany supported Austria-Hungary. This assassination triggered a series of events that involved various countries through existing alliances. The Allied power is Britain, France, and Russia, and the Central power is Germany and Austria-Hungary. The war was fought on two main fronts: the Western Front in France and Belgium, and the Eastern Front, Russia, with Germany fighting on both sides. World War I is known for the trench warfare tactic on the Western Front, where troops were trapped in the difficult conditions. Meanwhile, on the Eastern Front, Russia suffered major defeat and eventually a revolution that overthrew Tsar Nicholas II. Battles such as the Somme and Verdun marked the brutality of the war, which cost thousands of lives without significant result. In 1917, the United States entered the war after Germany launched an unrestricted submarine attack that sank American merchant ship. The Allied forces began to gain the upper hand with the arrival of American troops and pushed back the Central Power. By late 1918, the Central Power were in decline. Bulgaria surrendered, and countries such as the Ottoman Empire, Austria-Hungary, and Germany began to suffer defeat. World War I caused millions of casualties and reshaped the political map of Europe, triggering major social, economic, and cultural changes throughout the world. On November 11, 1918, Germany signed an armistice and the war officially ended with the Treaty of Versailles on June 28, 1919. Revolution broke out in Germany, leading to the overthrow of Kaiser Wilhelm II and the establishment of the Weimar Republic. In Germany, the 1918 revolution overthrew the monarchy and established the Weimar Republic, but economic and social instability led to the rise of extremist groups such as the Nazis. The Austria-Hungarian Empire was dissolved, resulting in new countries such as Austria, Hungary, and Yugoslavia. In the Middle East, the Ottoman Empire was broken up, and its territory was divided by Britain and France, creating tensions that continue to this day. The revolution in Russia gave birth to the Soviet Union and began a global competition between capitalist and socialist countries. The European economy was badly damaged by the enormous cost of war, causing inflation and the destruction of infrastructure. Germany faced its worst economic crisis with hyperinflation in 1923, which created social discontent and paved the way for the rise of the Nazi Party. On the other hand, the United States emerged as a major economic power due to its relatively unscathed physical condition, while Japan also strengthened in position after taking over territories partially controlled by Germany. As a result, the United States and Japan enjoyed rapid growth while Europe fell into economic crisis. The social impact of World War I was far-reaching with over 9 million soldiers and 10 million civilians killed. The war also caused profound psychological damage, especially for veterans who suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder or PTSD. The war accelerated social change, especially in the roles of women, who took over the job of men who had gone to war. After the war, women in some countries were granted the right to vote as a result of their contribution during the war. So that's the background, cause, and impact of World War I for Europe and the world, which not only changed the political map of the world, but also showed the social, economic, and cultural structure that had lasted so long. Okay guys, thank you for watching. World War I had a major impact on political change, especially in Europe. Large empires such as Germany, Austria-Hungary, Ottoman, and Russia collapsed. Japan, having gained greatly from the war, began to expand its influence in Asia and the Pacific. World War I marked a major shift in the global geopolitical order, filling tension that eventually contributed to the outbreak of World War II in 1939.